Welcome to True North Nation. This was brought to you by Solid Rock Church in Irving, Texas, where we bring you true direction in a lost world. Now let's hear it from our host, Pastor Ed Snyder.
And welcome back to another great episode here at TNN. We're so thankful that you have joined us again this week. Thank you for being a loyal listener. Thank you for all of the positive feedback that you have been giving us here for each episode. We are in a series of Control the Beast. We are approaching the end. We have probably 3 more episodes left. So I'm praying that you're enjoying it. But we are thankful that God has given us the privilege of helping you, improving you, encouraging you, and helping you find the right direction, which is true north, that you can find God and make things a lot better. So today, let's get some notes. Let's get a great cup of coffee, and we'll be right back. Have you ever heard the saying, teamwork makes the dream work? You can accomplish success on your own. Today, we're going to be talking about vital relationships. We're going to be talking about the 9 levels of relationship. And we'd like to, if we have time, to touch toxic relationships. Now, starting out early here in this episode, I want to alert you that you can get a free ebook. If you'll go to our website, truenorthdfw.org, that is truenorthdfw.org, and you can sign up for a free ebook called 9 Levels of Relationship and how to handle toxic relationships. I think it's very important for some of you that are listening to this episode to grab that ebook and read it. It's going to go into a little more depth than what we're going to have time for today in this episode. But again, truenorthdfw.org is the place to go to, and it's on the right-hand side of the page. Just pop in your name and your email address, and we will send it over to you free of charge and pray that it blesses you. But today, again, vital relationships. When I started my journey to manage my emotions, especially that of the negative emotions, almost 4 decades ago, the resources that you have available were not available to me. It was 42 years ago. So my wife and I, and along with my mother, were in a journey for life. You know, it just kind of forced me into, I've got to get better or I'm going to lose everything. And one of the things that I learned in my journey was the fact that it takes a team. It took a team that started out as my wife and I. Then my mother joined in. Of course, my mother was a president of my fan club. She was a huge support, along with my father and a few others. But it took a team of vital relationships for me to get where I needed to go. So I'm going to lay a foundation again, early on in this episode of here at Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 9 and verse 10, 2 are better than 1 because they have a good return for their labor. If either of them falls down, one can help the other up. But pity anyone who falls and has no one to help them up. And so we've got to grab a hold of the fact that we need each other. God has built us for relationships. God has built us to have someone in our life that cares deep about us. A proverb is a sage piece of advice, of known truth, usually from an ancient source. You know, consider and meditate on the following proverbs here that I'm going to give you, not from a Chinese proverb or whatever, but it's proverbs from the Bible, from the book of Proverbs, which is the book of wisdom that we really need to drill down. And again, I want to lay a little foundation here to get into this talk today. Proverbs chapter 12, verse 26. The righteous choose their friends carefully, but the way of the wicked leads them astray. Proverbs 13 and 20. Walk with the wise and become wise, for a companion of fools suffers harm. Proverbs 27:17, iron sharpens iron, so a man sharpens his friend's countenance. Proverbs 15:22, plans fail for the lack of counsel, but with many advisors they succeed. Proverbs 16:28, a perverse person stirs up conflict, and a gossip separates close friends. Proverbs 17 and verse 17, a friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for a time of adversity. Proverbs chapter 18 and verse 24, one who has unreliable friends soon comes to ruin, but there is a friend who sticks closer than a brother. Proverbs 19 and 20, listen to advice and accept discipline, and at the end you will be counted among the wise. Proverbs chapter 22, verse 24 and 25, do not make friends with hot-tempered person. Do not associate with one easily angered, or you may learn their ways and get yourself ensnared. So, what is relationship value? You know, we've got a lot of us understand relationships. A lot of us, especially if you are married, you understand relationships. You know, you've got your wife or husband, whichever applies, and you understand that relationships is work. It's work. It's effort. It's thoughtfulness. But what is the value of that relationship? Now, the concept of relationship value is defined as any relationship that could create specific values for the two sides in the relationship as the process that both sides develop their trust, main word, trust, and sought mutual benefits. Okay. Now, why? That's a what question. But here's another question. Why are healthy relationships so meaningful? Well, you just probably just thought of two or three answers to that question. But as humans, the relationships that we form with other people are vital to our mental, emotional well-being, and our spiritual well-being, and really our survival. A positive relationship can be shared between any two people who love, support, encourage, and help each other immensely, help each other a lot. Sometimes relationships cost, and you've got to give to that relationship so that we can be emotionally, spiritually, and mentally healthy. Okay? Now, again, laying the foundation of this, there is a list that I created that is the 10 things to hold more importance in a relationship than love. Of course, now, wait a minute. What did you just say? Yes, that's what I said. You know, everybody thinks love is important. It is. We've got to love one another, especially in a marriage. You have to love, unconditionally. In our relationship with God, we have to love. He loves us unconditionally. He died for us. But what are 10 more things that are of importance than love? One, we already mentioned it, trust. If you don't have trust in your relationship, you don't have anything. You can love, but if you don't have trust, you're in for trouble. You can love. I know a lot of people, a lot of married folks that love their spouse but can't trust them. Okay, they love them dearly. They're the high school sweetheart or college sweetheart, but trust has been broken and the relationship suffers. Number two, honesty. If you don't have honesty, again, you're in trouble, because how can you trust if we're not honest? Number three, respect. Okay, well, they got to earn respect. True, very true. But, you don't get respect unless you give respect. So think about that. We've got to have respect to form good, strong, healthy relationships. Number four, communication. leading cause of divorce in today's world is the lack of communication. A very close second is finance. Inside the close second of finance is the lack of communication of finance. So again, communication is absolutely vital. If you don't communicate, how can you respect? How can you be honest? How can you trust? And more than anything, how can you love if you don't communicate? Number 5, loyalty. Now, I've been told, you can't teach loyalty. I'm not sure about that. I'm really not sure about that, because I've seen people start to understand the value of loyalty. If it's nothing more than they get backstabbed, they get their throat cut in relationships or whatever, and realize, you know what, loyalty is important, and they start learning how to be a loyal person. So loyalty is absolute. I've got a great family. I've got great kids. I've got a great son-in-law, a great daughter-in-law, and all of that. Are they without fault? No, they have their faults. But let me tell you something. I'm loyal to them. If there's a problem, I will go to their defense. But if they're wrong, I'll still defend them in a correct way. But then that person, that family member, and I are going to have a conversation, because they also need to understand, yeah, you didn't handle that just right. Okay. I just want to make sure you understand that I have balance in my loyalty to my family members. Okay. And that applies to anybody in my life, especially the church folks that I pastor, that God has given me that distinct privilege. My friends, my close best friends, I'm loyal. In fact, I've been told I'm loyal to a fault. Number 6, happiness. Again, if you do the first 5, it pretty much creates happiness. Number 7, and this is something that maybe cross your eyes a little bit, but compromise. Compromise. Wait a minute. We can't compromise. Yes, you can. You just don't compromise on the word of God. But you can compromise on things that really doesn't matter in the relationship. Okay. I hope you understood what I just stated. There's, whether we like well done steak or medium rare steak, don't cross swords about that. For crying out loud, that's ridiculous. Okay. Compromise. If they like medium rare, okay, they like medium rare. Number 8, safety. Safety is very important in developing healthy relationships. We got to feel safe in our relationships. Number 9, okay, married folks, especially you guys, independence. Now, listen, this is a fine line. This is a delicate balance. We need to depend on each other. We don't need to be separate in our marriage or relationship, but we also need to have a sense of independence. Okay. My wife is a wonderful woman. She depends on me. She told me the other day, "You're really the glue of this family." I said, "Well, yeah, that's great, but I don't want to be the glue. I want everybody to be able to stand on their own, because whenever God calls me home, what are you going to do?" So that's something that I want you to think about in your relationships. Yes, love that person, depend on that person, want that person in your life, but also don't forget, you've got to learn to stand on your own 2 feet. Number 10, partnerships. We're a partner, and I know the world has kind of tainted that word partnerships. Well, this is my significant other. This is my partner. Well, yes, my wife of 42 years is definitely my partner. She is my partner in ministry. She is my partner in family. She is my partner in crime. She's my partner in fun. It's okay. All right. That was, that right there, I gave you that list of 10 is some very useful information to take into our relationships and what they need to look like and the elements that need to possess. Now we come to the crust of today's episode, and it's a piece that I wrote when I was professionally teaching anger management in probation and parole and in the Department of Corrections and court services and all of that stuff. And it's called The 9 Levels of Relationship. And this This, folks, is the ebook that if you go to truenorthdfw.org, to the right side, there you'll see it. It's the cover of that ebook. Just punch in your name and your email address, and we will send this to you absolutely free. And there's a lot more content in that ebook than what I'm able to cover in this 30 minutes that we have together. So, 9 levels of relationships. The Lord just kind of opened my heart up and mind and let me see how that so many times people are struggling in their relationships because they have people in the wrong category of relationships. And so God just kind of showed me there are basically 9 levels. And in dealing with negative emotions, we need to scrutinize our surrounding relationships. We need to take inventory, if you please, to understand who is in what category. And the big question is, do they belong there? Do they belong there? Relationships impact us. Healthy relationships foster positive emotions, good feelings, confidence, self-esteem, good self-esteem, okay? And there's several things that you can do to understand the different levels of involvement. And so let's dive in. First relationship, level 1, God. That is our first level that we need to develop. There is only one, shall I use the word person, in that level. There's only one that can be, and that's God himself, Jesus Christ. Now, there are others that people try to push into this category, like their career, their bank accounts, their materialism, their houses and cars. You know, they serve as gods, but that's not where it is. God is a jealous God. There is no other God, as the Bible says, before me or beside me or behind me. So a relationship with God, ladies and gentlemen, is an absolute in our building of relationships ourselves. Level number 2 is, again, a very important level, and that is my spouse. Let me ask you, what is love? Now, we talked about those 10 other categories there, or 10 other items that's kind of more important than love. But what is love? When we think about love, are we thinking about infatuation? We're thinking about, ooh, they are pretty. What is love? And when we think it's love, in reality, it's lust. It's an infatuation. Okay. Now, try this out. Love is an emotion. It's something that we feel, but love is not just an emotion. It's a commitment based on emotion. If you're not committed to that person, you don't love them. You lust after them. Okay, just try that on for size. Now, again, this is the second most critical relationship, and this level requires ultimate trust. My wife is my best friend. She also knows everything about me. I have put myself under strict accountability to her. When I am researching content for whatever a book I'm writing, whether it is a class that I'm developing, especially when I was contracted with the Department of Corrections, they asked me to help sex offenders. And of course, you know where I went with that research. But when I bumped into something that I didn't belong, I called her immediately. Hey, I want you to come over here, look at my computer. I bumped into this website. Why do you do that? Because accountability is so important. She knows now, if she got on my computer behind me and saw that in my history, immediately suspicion. Immediately there's going to be a trust issue because she thought we always think the worst. But when I was accountable and then I deleted it in front of her, accountability. All right. So that relationship requires ultimate trust. It also requires a lot of work. We have to work at this level of relationship because it produces a lot of fabulous, fabulous things. All right, level number 3 is another important level of relationship, and that is my mentors. I have mentors in my life. But Pastor Snyder, you've been in ministry for 42 years and, you're 60 years old and you've done a lot of things and been a lot of places and all that. Yes, I have. But that does not mean as long as I've been in ministry and as old as I am and all the things that God has placed me, on the national level or whatever, I still need to be accountable. I still need to have a pastor, a mentor in my life to help me stay on the straight and narrow. Now, these mentors are people that have my ultimate trust. I am loyal to them. I learn from them. I have a high level of respect for them. And I know what they tell me is for my best interest. If they would say, okay, Brother Snyder, I want you to go over there in that corner, stand on your head for 30 minutes. I will die trying to get this frame upside down in that corner for 30 minutes because for whatever reason, as dumb as it sounds, there's something good in it for me. They're telling me that for a reason. Man, Pastor, that's an awful lot of trust. Well, these are special people. These are people that have earned the right to be my mentor. Okay. Yes, I'm honored to have them as a mentor, but also they have to earn the right to speak into my life. Okay. So when choosing that mentor for your life, you need to be very, very, very careful. He or she needs to be older. Okay. And they need to be strong in biblical doctrine. They need to be ethical. They need to be wise. They need to be reasonably successful in the area, whether it's ministry, whether it's business or whatever. They need to be reasonably successful because they've got the corn in the crib that they need to tell you about. Okay. Also, they must also be securely grounded in biblical truth. So again, that's my mentors. Level number 4 is my best friends. Now, this list should be, by all rights, a short list. These are people that I trust and are very comfortable around. These are the people that I can let down the guard, that I can be me. I can say dumb things. I can laugh. I can, do whatever within my convictions, of course, and be myself. And I'm not afraid that they're going to judge me, criticize me, talk about me behind my back. I never have to worry about that because they are my best friend. This level of relationship transcends time. And in today's world, there's no distance on best friend status. So our best friends, it's that person we knew from the 3rd grade, or whatever the case is. Level number 5, good friends, not best friends, good friends. Now, these are people that I see from time to time. I have been with them. I have worked on a project with them. They are a friend of somebody else that I know or whatever. These are people that, I like what they stand for. I like who they are. I like their principles. Now, this group, again, is not best friend level, but they're enjoyable nonetheless. I may not be able to let down the guard all the way. I may not be able to just be me and say stupid stuff and not have the worry of being criticized. I don't know them that well. So, but they are good friends. They are good people, and we can go get some coffee together and shoot the breeze and have good conversation and all of that. Level number 6 is acquaintances. These are people that I have met, appreciate them, seem to be good people, don't know them real well, but they seem to be all right. They may move up to a friend category. Maybe these are people that I do business with. I see occasionally, pass by in the coffee shop, see them at a conference or whatever. People often confuse this type of relationship with good friend, best friend category. Please be wise. You can and most likely will get hurt or your trust broken if you're not careful. Level number 7. Now here, hopefully it's going to get amusing, but there's some real truth to it. Level number 7, on the job. Okay. Now, these are people I don't really like. They're backstabbers. They're political. They're on the job and they're out for themselves. They don't care who they step on to get to the top. I don't like them. But if I cross them, it's going to cause me trouble on my job, or it's going to cause me to lose credibility with other people. So I'm professional. I'm courteous. I get to the point. And when I walk on the job, they're there. When I leave, they stay there. I don't do dinner with them. I don't play golf with them. I don't go to the coffee shop with them. They are on the job relationship, and they have respect. They have my respect and they have my kindness while I'm there. All right. Level number 8. We're getting close to our timeout. Level number 8, and this one hopefully is humorous, but you can relate to it. These are people I love enough to get to heaven. I do not like these people. They annoy me. They get on my nerves. I don't really like their principles. There's something about them that just rubs my fur the wrong way. But I can't hate them and I can't dislike them, because then I'm going to jeopardize my chances to get to heaven. So I've got to find a good thing in them. I got to find a positive thing within them. And that's what I focus on and try my best to stay away from them. Sorry, that might have been straight up, but true nonetheless. Level number 9, and here's what I really want to get to. And this, again, on this level, is an important level, and we will close out our time together today. And again, let me encourage you to go to truenorthdfw.org and pick up the free ebook on what we're talking about. A lot more content in this book, 9 Levels of Relationship, How to Handle Toxic Relationships. And that is that, toxic relationships. Toxic relationships have a nature to be harmful. To our emotional and mental and spiritual well-being. They will destroy us. They could have been, now who are these people? They could have been a best friend. God forbid, they could have been a spouse. They could have been a coworker. They could have been whatever levels that I just talked to you about. This person could have been in any one of them, but something happened, or several things happened, and it became toxic. So it's poison. Every time you try to fix this relationship, you get hurt. Every time you try to touch it, you get poisoned. Your faith gets diminished. Your self-esteem gets dinged in this relationship. And history just keeps repeating itself over and over and over again. The only thing that you can do with a toxic relationship that is poisonous is contain it and distance yourself, or in other words, dispose of it. Now, wait a minute. Hold up. Are you saying that I divorce my spouse and walk off? I don't condone divorce, for the record. Okay. We need to do everything we can to restore, especially that second level relationship, and to get that back in. But there may be a separation in order, because if you can extract the poisons from the relationship, then you can restore the spouse, the best friend, the good friend, the working relationship, whatever area or category they have come from. And so any relationship that is unhealthy, Bible-based advice for how to tell and how to cut them off is in that ebook. So grab it, okay? Get a hold of it and read it, because I got a feeling that today I am talking to a lot of people. Bottom line, confuses people and levels of relationship. They keep trying to take an acquaintance or an on-the-job relationship and make a friend out of them or make a best friend out of them. It's not going to work. They're a backstabber by nature. They cannot fit into your best friend. You're going to get hurt. Or the big kahuna of level 9, they keep shoving toxic relationships in any one of the other categories, and it causes trouble. Folks, as we close out today, I want you to really carefully pray. Ask God's direction. Ask God to reveal to you your relationships and the level that they're in, and keep that person there or put that person in the proper relationship. Now, again, I know I don't mean to sound like a broken record, but I really feel it's important that you grab a hold of that ebook and read it for the how to handle toxic relationships. That is the extension of this episode, is that you go get that ebook. Again, truenorthdfw.org. And on the right side of the page, you'll see it. Punch your name in, your email address. We will send that out to you free of charge. I'm also going to make another little offer. If you want to counsel with me for a few minutes, 15 minutes or so, you need somebody to talk to, let's set it up. Okay. E. Snyder at truenorthdfw.org is my email address. Shoot me an email. I'll send you a link. We'll set up an appointment on the calendar, and I'll spend some time with you and do my best to help you. All right. We are out of time. I pray that this episode has touched you. If you would, share this episode with others and bless more. Until next week, may God richly bless you and have a great week on purpose.
To find out more about finding that true destination, visit us at truenorthdfw.org.